Imagine stepping into your backyard every single morning for the next 30 years and harvesting fresh food without ever replanting a thing. No seed catalogs in January, no starting over. That is not a fantasy. That is exactly what these 7 perennials deliver. These are the plants real, experienced gardeners actually swear by. Not because they're trending on social media, but because they are genuinely indestructible and they feed you for life. No fluff. Let's get straight into it. Number 1. Asparagus. This earns the top spot on every serious list for one simple reason. Plant it once, and you're looking at a bed that will outlive your mortgage. You plant the crowns. Those are the root systems, and you spend 2 to 3 years building patience while those roots drive deep. When you're buying crowns, go all-male varieties like Jersey Knight or Jersey Giant. They channel all their energy into spear production instead of setting seed, which means a noticeably heavier harvest every single spring. But once they hit their stride, a single 20-foot row produces 10 to 15 pounds of tender spears every spring. And that same row will be doing it 20, even 30 years from now. What makes it immortal? It's frost-hardy to zone 3. Its roots naturally suppress soil pathogens, and established crowns shrug off late-season freezes that would wipe out almost any other vegetable. The deeper those roots go, the more untouchable it becomes. Do not skip asparagus. Number 2 doesn't just survive brutal winters, it actually requires them to thrive. Here's why that's a total superpower. Number 2, rhubarb. Basically a weed that produces food, and I mean that as the highest compliment a gardener can give. Rhubarb needs cold winters to trigger dormancy and come back even stronger, making it bulletproof in zones 3 through 8. One mature clump gives you 6 to 10 pounds of stalks per harvest, with 2 to 3 cuts possible each season once it's established. The mistake most new gardeners make? Harvesting too soon. Don't touch it in year 1. Light cuts in year 2. By year 3, you have a machine that runs completely without you. And here's something most people miss. Every 4 to 5 years, you can dig the crown up, split it into sections, and replant. One free plant suddenly becomes 3 or 4. And don't box rhubarb into just pies. It works beautifully in chutneys, savory sauces, and jams. It is deeply underutilized, and it will reward your patience generously. Number 3 is a root vegetable so aggressive, so unstoppable, that once it's in your ground, it is basically in your ground forever. And that is entirely a good thing. Number 3, the Jerusalem artichoke, also called Sunchoke. Not actually an artichoke, nothing to do with Jerusalem. It's a native North American sunflower relative that produces masses of nutty, earthy tubers underground. And the yield is almost absurd. One plant can produce 2 to 5 pounds of tubers per season, and they multiply every single year because any small root fragment left in the soil regrows a new plant. They grow in clay, poor soil, drought conditions, partial shade, conditions that would kill most vegetables. These plants also hit 8 to 10 feet tall, which means along a fence line they pull double duty as a natural privacy screen. 2 functions, 1 planting. The flavor sits somewhere between a potato and a water chestnut. Nutty, slightly sweet, excellent roasted or in soups. Just give them a dedicated bed. They will spread enthusiastically, and they will never stop producing. Plant number 4 might be the most underestimated condiment crop alive, and once you taste fresh homegrown versus anything from a store shelf, you will never ever go back. Number 4, horseradish. This plant borders on unkillable. Plant a single root cutting in spring, walk away, and by fall you're pulling roots the size of your forearm. It thrives in zones 3 through 9, survives poor soil, compacted ground, flooding, drought. It genuinely does not care what you throw at it. Every fragment of root left in the ground becomes a new plant, so give it a permanent dedicated spot and respect that ambition. Each mature plant produces 2 to 5 pounds of roots per season, year after year. Here's a tip most gardeners miss. Wait until after the first hard frost to harvest. That cold snap concentrates the flavor and drives up the heat compounds significantly. Fresh grated horseradish is in a completely different universe from anything in a jar. Hot, complex, and bright in a way you simply cannot buy. Beyond the kitchen, it has real medicinal credibility, used for respiratory support and natural antibacterial applications for centuries. This one gets better every single year with zero effort from you. Number 5 is genuinely one of the most fascinating food plants on Earth because it doesn't just grow, it moves. Number 5, the Egyptian walking onion. This is a top-setting onion that grows a cluster of small bulbs at the very top of the stalk. When they get heavy enough, the stalk bends, those bulbils touch the soil, they root, literally walking across your garden and creating new plants by themselves every single year. One of the most self-sufficient food plants on Earth. You get 3 harvests from one planting. The greens as scallions from early spring, the underground bulbs in fall, and those top bulbils for cooking or replanting. Hardy to zone 3, drought-tolerant, completely self-propagating. Start with a handful of bulbils, and within 3 growing seasons, you will have a permanent, self-sustaining onion supply that expands every single year with zero input from you. This is the one people always stop and ask about when they see it growing. Number 6 is where most gardeners leave serious harvests on the table. It's a perennial green that most people have genuinely never heard of, and it might just be the most practical plant on this entire list. Number 6, sorrel, specifically French sorrel or broadleaf sorrel. It tastes like lemon. Bright, fresh, bold acidity. It grows in zones 3 through 9, handles drought, tolerates partial shade, and asks for almost nothing in return. What makes it exceptional is the cut and comb again growth. Harvest the outer leaves, and it immediately pushes new ones. It starts in early spring, sometimes weeks before anything else in the garden, and keeps going until hard frost. Use it raw in salads, pureed into soups, as a classic sauce over fish or chicken. It's used in French cooking the way spinach is used everywhere else. Except unlike spinach, you are not replanting this every single year. This is the gap filler your garden has been missing. Number 7. The final plant on this list gives you 3 completely different harvests from one planting every single year. Most gardeners walk right past it at the nursery. That is a mistake. Number 7. Lovage. This looks like giant celery. It tastes like giant celery, deeply savory, concentrated, with a warmth and depth that anything from the grocery store simply doesn't have. And here's what most people don't realize until they actually grow it. The flavor is so concentrated that a single large leaf can season an entire pot of soup. You use less, you waste less, and the plant never runs out. Every single part is edible and useful. The leaves as a fresh herb, the stalks in soups and stews, the dried seeds as a bold spice, 3 distinct harvests from a single plant. It grows 4 to 6 feet tall, returns from the same root crown every year, and self-seeds freely, giving you new free plants each season without doing a thing. Hardy to zone 3, drought-tolerant, and almost completely unbothered by pests. Insects largely leave it alone. One established lovage plant covers your entire celery flavoring need for a full season without replanting, without buying transplants, without any effort. If you cook soups, stews, or stocks regularly, this plant will genuinely change how you garden. Permanent spot. 0 maintenance. Plant it once. 7 plants. 1 planting. A lifetime of harvests. If you enjoyed the video, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss our next upload. Thanks for watching. If you want to keep building the kind of food garden that practically runs itself, the next video is on the screen right now. It'll show you exactly how to take this further. Hit it.